Hello, hello. We're here with Terra Nullius, episode 39, I believe.
Yes.
Does that sound right? Yeah. I'm ready, guys. I'm so excited about this episode because it's been 2 weeks since we've been able to do Terra Nullius proper. And before that, we had, some 2 other weeks, and then it's just I'm ready to go, because most of the sessions we've done in season 4 had just been side stories or prep things. This time, things are gonna go down. There's gonna be things that happen. I'm really, really excited for them. I think the main thing I'm really excited about is the fact that I totally made stats for Darius's new experimental clay armor, which I'm pretty excited about.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, was I going to go back and try and get those gloves?
Yes, that was also a thing. And I didn't apparently do any prep work on that. I just realized I forgot that. But
there were some
I know what
things
it is, but
there were some things it did. It just also happened to make me want to steal things.
yes. He was working out on the kinks of that, yeah. The main thing he wants you to come back, and that's Tohil. He wants you to come back and do is show him how you broke his golems.
Do I want to show him though?
Well, you're gonna have to figure out a way out to either deceive him or.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into goals, shall we? Figure out what is going on in the heads of all of our favorite adventurers here. Let me pull up my goals document. Boo.
I wonder if it would be possible to create a D&D character that didn't have a head.
To create a D&D character that didn't have a head. What do you mean by that?
Playable and operable.
Like the Headless Horseman?
Yeah, something like that.
I feel like he'd be left behind.
No.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
And that's been our episode, guys. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hats off to you, Seth.
No.
See, Jordan, this is where I do need the soundboard because it'll go boom, 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 boom. The Jeopardy stuff.
Yep.
There we go. Ba-dum-bum.
Yes.
I have one of those too.
Toity, I mean, I could set up my instrument kit and have a drum thing. Go. Anyway, so Toity, what are your goals, friend?
To make a name for myself in the mainland.
Yep.
Then we've got Hoop-de-doo. And following that, we got Floop-de-doo.
Yep. Lots
Were they
of secret
sisters?
goals. So it's the same secret goals that you had last time? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited about those goals. I'm really excited for when you guys go to the capital and start killing Arendira and destroying an entire civilization that Toity completes, make a name for myself on the mainland, because he's yes, I am the one who brought down your empire. That would be awesome. Cool. Raya Olufemi, what you got?
Teach Darius how to read,
Yep.
as I am just committed to until it happens, basically. Find out more about the orb. Hopefully doing some more cool drug stuff with it.
Yep.
And then whoop-de-doo.
With some...
Yeah. Sorry, I think I maybe missed the specific wording on goal number 2. Is it still learn something new about the orb? What was it? How was it worded again?
You had it worded differently than I did when you had it typed out to make it proper.
Okay.
But I mean, my goal this time is to do more with the orb, in relation to the drug meditation.
Right. Learn how to use the drugs to power the orb.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so do you intend that to be the learn one new thing about that to short-term goal, or once I figure out everything about the drugs?
More of a short-term
Okay.
thing, see if I can replicate what I did before.
Learn a new trick on how to use the drugs to power the orb.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you have Hoop-de-doo with Sabu. Sounds good. Cool.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So we have Hoop-de-doo, Floop-de-doo, and Whoop-de-doo. Okay. All right. Gotta keep track of these.
Very important.
Yeah. Arie Armani, what you got?
Get out of my contract, Lord of Varro.
Mm-hmm.
Train Miggy.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is find the hummingbird suitor.
Yeah. Find the hummingbird suitor. I'm really excited for you to meet the hummingbird suitor because I've thought about him a lot. Darius.
Understanding more about how the blood creates a new god of death,
Yeah.
and getting specifics for that.
Mm-hmm. And that's intended as a short-term goal as well. Short-term goal as well, right? So it's like once I learn a new thing. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Rescue Nahuatl
Okay.
and learn to harness power to move between planes of existence.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's what today's gonna be about.
Wait a second, Caleb.
Yeah.
Did I finish Hoop-de-Doo?
Hoop-de-doo?
I've since labeled them
Oh.
in my...
Yeah, let me look at your character sheet
since
to make sure that
labeled-
I have this written. Maybe I have the wrong things written because I just realized that myself. I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I just realized,
It has.
I finished that.
Let's see.
'Cause
Oh yeah, you did that. Yeah.
'Cause if
You
so...
changed that one. Yeah.
Um...
I mean, you could have an easy one be convince Tohil that I didn't intentionally like.
I just put a new one in there, and we'll make that the new Hoop-de-Doo.
Okay, let me look.
Oh no, maybe I'll figure out what to name that one. Or I'll make it more specific. I'll make it less generic, more.
I can, as of yet, not see it yet. So once you finish writing in, click off of the box, so it will appear to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That seems like the next logical
The
conclusion.
last one on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. That's good. Oh, that's so good. Excited about that.
Hoop-de-Doo's all done.
Yeah. So what is this one called then?
Noop-de-woo!
Noop-de-woo. That's gonna get old after a
It's
while.
Hoop-de-Doo's cousin.
And this is why I don't show chat these goals. Okay. So Miggy has his same goals. Help Raya recover from her loss, marry Arie, and prove myself to the party. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, so Emily, real quick, I want to make sure that I'm getting the calendar date right. My records say that it's January 9th. Is that what your records say when we open up today's episode?
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Did you not make any notes? Because that's the thing, I didn't either, so I had to go back through.
So the last thing I have is that it was January 7th, the day that we
Reached the cult?
no, the day after we reached the cult, and then
Okay, yeah, then that's right then. It's January 9th then.
yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Okay, cool. So
Ooh, I'm gonna write that right now.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in myself. I'm sorry for failing you.
It's
the
okay.
entire
It's
party
okay. It's fine.
and all of Thray.
So we get text on the top of the screen that says January 9th, 1493, the Burning Sanctum. And we see, I don't know, who do we want to go to first? We have a few things that we want to square away before we head out to find the hummingbird suitor. Obviously, directly before we go to the hummingbird suitor, Darius needs to actually figure out how to transcend, and particularly with everyone as well, take everybody with him. So that needs to happen. But in terms of my notes, the three things that I have written down. Okay, so first, Toity, you need to go talk to Tohil and have that again. Darius needs to get his new armor. And then a real quick housekeeping note. So I thought about this last time. I was like, wait a second. How in the world did Akna talk to Arie? They don't speak the same language. So.
I speak giant.
You don't. That's the thing. Giant is not the same. We were at established. Or no, you did.
I speak New World Giant.
You learned it. Now I remember. Okay, I was like confused because I was thinking about that. I was like, oh wait a second. No, that doesn't even make sense. Okay, yeah, you're right.
And
totally
she wouldn't
right.
speak. She doesn't speak any primordial.
She does speak primordial. Yes, but
Then we could speak either language.
Wait, can you speak
With her
primordial?
ring,
Yes.
Because of the ring?
right?
No, because I took.
Oh, you took another. You leveled up again.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, it was when.
What was it?
Yes, I leveled up last season, season
Okay.
3. Remember, and then I took a feat that allowed me to speak another language.
Linguist. Right. Okay.
I didn't take linguist. I took a different
So
one.
it
but
was
still
just.
allowed
It was
another
just.
language.
Yeah. It was just like a nascent like fear in my brain somewhere. Where I was like, wait a second, we forgot about this thing, but it's because it didn't matter anymore. That's why. Okay. Cool. That's.
I speak both of her languages.
Yep, cool.
I'm good.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Good. I'm glad about that. That makes everything so much easier.
I probably speak to her in giant, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Probably. Yep.
I love it. I don't like her, but I love that I can
Yep.
speak her language.
Cool. All right. Awesome. I'm glad I remember that. I don't know how I got them mixed up in my head again, but cool. So, what do we want to start with? Who wants to start a scene?
I literally have nothing I want to do, so.
I can. That's fine. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, Raya, what do you want to do?
Nobody else has anything.
I mean, Darius and
I
Toity
just-
have things. It's
Yeah.
just, it doesn't matter what order.
I know, but I have like a first thing as soon as I wake up.
Yeah,
thing.
sure. Okay.
I know it's gonna be a big day, so I'm just
Yeah.
laying in my room thinking about what big day it's gonna be.
hmm
And that I probably need to save my spells. So
Yeah.
I choose to only use a single one of my 3rd level spells
Okay.
to cast Sending to Cebu.
I thought you were going to say, like, I won't cast any sending spells, but okay.
No, I'm just gonna use one. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Yep. Holding back, I see.
Yeah, it's better than using my like 7 3rd and above spells.
Yeah.
So it's fine. So I cast Sending to Cebu and just say, "Good morning. Gonna be a busy, difficult day, so I have to save my spells. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you have a good day."
Okay.
I don't know how many words that was because I didn't actually write
That's
it
okay.
down.
That's okay. That sounds like it would fit in 25 words. Okay. So I think what we get, right? We've gotten the text on the screen that says, the date, and probably the first shot was like Raya just kind of like waking up, right? Like, stretching, and then she kind of like, this just kind of like thinking, and then she like sends the spell, and we hear this in her mind, and then we see Cebu. And he's also waking up, right? And we see him kind of stretching on the ship, and just kind of like, he kind of like gets up from his hammock and like goes out on the deck and is kind of just like, he's like shirtless, so he's just kind of like, we see like he's obviously very muscular. He's kind of like, arms crossed across his chest. And he's like looking out over the ocean. Clear, brisk morning. He gets your message, and I think he. Right before he responds to you, so we hear that message, play it back for him, and then we get an eerily familiar scene where one of the cabin boy from up on top of the crow's nest shouts "Land ahoy!" and Cebu like looks and he notices on the other side of it, or like towards the front of the ship, that they've reached land. And he kind of like looks over. He's like, and then says to you, "Sounds good. I will also be busy with a lot. I'm sure. We just reached land, so it's gonna be a busy day for both of you guys."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't a secret that he was coming, so he doesn't feel like it's given too much away to just tell you they got here. He didn't tell you where, so. Wasn't it Samuel who told you that?
Samuel just said he might sneak information to us.
Yeah, he would probably be able to sneak
Right.
stuff.
I'm trying to remember, because do you guys know where they were planning on landing? Was that a thing that anyone informed you?
No,
or you found out
because-
somehow?
Because
What?
the only thing that we heard is that Cebu is a little bit of a stickler for rules, but I could slip you some information to meet up.
Okay, got it. All right, so that's just me. Me as a person knows where they are, and so that wasn't me. Like
Yes.
I had revealed it. I just had figured it out in my own head. Okay,
Right.
good. I'm glad I didn't just say it out loud. So, awesome. Yeah, that's the message he sends back. Yeah. I think the way that that was shot too, like with the juxtaposed images of you guys like laying in bed, was juxtaposed in such a way that it was like one was kind of facing one direction and the other was facing the other direction, and as we faded from one image to the other, it was almost as if they were like lying side by side.
Of course.
Yeah. Back to back, sort of a thing.
And then, since that's such exciting information, I'm ready to start my day and try to find Darius so I can see if my energized self can teach him how to read.
Sure. So morning lessons with Darius. Sure, yeah. I'll make that roll. Let's get started with
as long as Darius is okay with reading right now. I can't just make the
that's
roll
true.
if
It's
Darius is not going to read with me.
Yeah, Darius is probably fine with it.
Okay. 15.
Yeah, I think you can mark 2 days.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, finally.
Before everybody does everything, can I just roll training for Mickey for the day?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
18.
Yeah. Another batch of XP. Let's see here.
I would just like to point out, I was listening to a past episode. You gave me 450 for a 19 roll.
Yeah. So I'll give you. I'm gonna give you another 450, or give him another 450 because he's in higher level now, anyway. So let's do that. I don't want to do this math. Cool. So we get the continued montage of reading and training. We've probably seen exact replicas of these shots so many times in this show. Let's see, 235.50. Nope, we didn't have 235,000.
I feel like it's part of the opening credits.
The opening credits is like me reading.
That's definitely okay. So
training.
guys, though, literally though, I've gone through and I was listening to one of my favorite bands, Rise Against, a lot recently, and I was going through and just being like, oh, this would be a perfect song for the anime opening of this season, and I just kind of like today I was spending a lot of time listening to them, and I was definitely just imagining awesome anime like intro sequences with all of the characters fighting things and whatnot in my head to these songs, and so I'm already seeing it in my head right now. We have 450 to his XP. Oh, he's an even 24,000 right now out of 34,000.
Wow.
So he has 10,000 to go.
We just got to get him 10,000 this session.
This session?
Yeah, okay. Unless we're like going to stay here for a week.
If he completed all of his goals suddenly? Yes, absolutely.
Miggy, marry me.
Yeah, Arie just goes up to him and just like, you know what? We should just get married.
Let's just get married. Sounds good to me.
That happens, and then everyone just comes up to him and says, you know what? You've really proven yourself to the party today.
If you can get Arie to marry you, you've proven yourself.
And then Raya's just like, you know what? I'm actually feeling really good. I think I've recovered from my loss. And then Mickey's like, well, my work here is done.
And then all of a sudden, Miggy is just imbued with power and he's gets biceps.
He has the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Cool. Anything else, Raya? Or is that kind of
I don't think so. That was kind of my big stuff.
Sure. Well, let's go away from that then. And either Toity or Darius, whichever of you.
I'm game. I'll be doing that while they're reading, probably.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So you go head down to Tohil.
It's a pervert.
Yep. What would an anime be without the resident pervert character? Let's be real.
Good anime.
Fair.
So, Toity will kind of just go out. He's kind of like, no, I have to do this garbage. It's like going down to the area. I'm like, Okay, here I am, Tohil. I'm just yawning.
Yeah, and I think like when you kind of like see something out of the corner of your eye and you're like you're not sure you saw it at first, and like we see Toity like rub his eyes probably because you're like sleepy, and then you like look again and kind of blink, and Tohil is just kind of like standing in the middle of the room with like this weird mask on, this tribal mask with like feathers sticking out of it, and he's just kind of like staring at you, like standing like straight up like pencil, just like staring at you.
He's wearing a weird tribal mask.
Yeah.
Is it? How early in the morning is it?
I don't know. It's up to you. You're the one who got up.
How
early
I
does
guess my
Toity
point-
get up in the morning?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like he's probably up with everyone else, I guess. So like,
Yeah.
how he probably just went straight there because I say he probably like went to go like to the mess hall to see like is something they're not ready. I'm like, I guess I'll find Tohil.
Right.
So how awake is everybody? Most
Yeah,
are
I would say most people are up by this point.
So okay, I'm just wondering what kind of sarcastic statement I
Right,
should go
sure.
with here. So he looks totally like, do you always sleep at that?
There's no answer.
Kind of goes, hello.
And he falls over. Like you tap on his mask, and he's just like,
No. I don't tap. I was snapping. Like,
oh, snapping.
hello?
I thought you were like, okay.
I can't reach his mask.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. He's not a very tall person, so maybe you could, but yeah, so you do that, and I think the same thing happens. He just falls backwards, and as soon as he hits the ground, he suddenly just like he rips off the mask and just like chucks it against the wall, and he like staring at you, like kind of like propping himself up. He's like, hi. Good morning.
Were you asleep while
No.
standing?
Why would I do something like that?
I kind of look over to the mask. It was a wooden mask, I take it.
Yeah, just like a wooden mask. It's like cracked now. He like threw it against the wall.
So like, what was that?
Well, if you must know, it was a bit of a... Fine, I was sleeping. In the mask. It helps me relax after a long day.
You seem like the kind of person who needs something to help him relax. we get maybe we get like a shot of Ryan.
So he says, yes. Anyway, we can move past that. Are you here to tell me what happened with the clay golems?
I mean, I kind of have an idea of what happened, right?
You know exactly what happened. You tapped
Okay,
into
right.
Balaam. You tapped into
Okay.
the stone, and
Just making sure, because it's been a while. So I think you're just gonna say, well, I'm gonna try and help as much as I can find out how to.
good, because I gotta tell you, some of my stress yesterday was trying to think of some way you could have used that rod. He points to like a rod of rulership's like sticking up out of your like holster, or whatever you put it.
Mhm.
To break number 5 here.
Well, no, but okay, remind me, because I'm tired. Why is it so important?
All right, let's put it this way, Toity. Do you know who we are? Who the Burning Sanctum is?
The last remnant of the cult of the dying flame?
Yes. What is the cult of the Dying Flame, Toity? Enlighten me. What is it to you?
Resistance force against the snake people?
Yeah, something like that. Sure. A quaint way of putting it, yes. So, we're here, right in the borders of Arendira's little protectorate, and if they found us here, we would all instantly die. It's only because of Tochia and my golems that we haven't. There were some very close calls before I came around. Very close. And so if that... I made these golems to be unbreakable. They They cannot be charmed. They cannot be... Magic can't penetrate them like that. They're not... I put so many barriers in place. And because you broke them, that means there's something that can get through, and I need to know what that something is. Or else everyone here, their lives are in jeopardy. You want to make an insight for me, Toity?
Oh, I'll make insight.
Yeah.
Okay, Toity's tired.
Mm-hmm. You can't, that face value. Yep.
I think Toity has an idea.
Yeah, how you can get yourself out of this one?
I think he's gonna just try and fib his way through this.
Okay.
Because the thing is, and partially because Toity doesn't want to waste his charge on something. He's like, knows like, what I did is special. No one else is gonna be able to do this.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be like, okay, so I'm gonna try and go for some inspiration.
Okay.
What could I say about Toity that would make this? What is something I could say about Toity?
I don't know.
That was like me fishing for a question because I can't think.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Because I'm trying to think of what I haven't said already.
Yeah, I mean, Toity doesn't have a whole lot of like deep, dark backstory.
No, not really.
Did Toity have any aspirations beyond?
I have an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Toity was the youngest of his
Yes, we did
siblings, but there was at one point where he kind of started to figure out how he could get around the oldest getting at him. And that was by kind of talking to the younger kids, they're still older than him, but the younger ones, and getting them to kind of go up the ladder of like using them essentially as a way to get to the older ones instead of necessarily him doing it himself and trying to be sneaky.
You get them to
about it.
turn against each other.
So not exactly turn against each other, but to get them back by, or yeah, I guess maybe get turned against each other. Yeah.
Right,
Or
like
get
you
his
use
way through.
the siblings that are closer to your age to get at the ones above you, yeah.
Yeah, because they're closer to their hit.
Right.
So I think Toy's gonna think about that and kind of just use like, okay, I'm gonna try and just fit my way through this like I've done plenty of times before to save my skin. And he's gonna take out the thing.
So that means you're gonna go to this guy's older brother, right, and just get him to beat him up?
No. He's just gonna take this inspiration like, I've done this before, I can do this again.
Yeah, okay. You're good at manipulating people. That is true.
You know what? Can I add a little flair to this?
How so?
I think. Wait, does it have to be the entire thing? I was gonna try and use light to like make the staff glow, to try and add a little extra bit of flair.
Oh,
but
so
I
you want to
have
like
inspiration,
right? You want to?
So
yeah, it's not gonna help anymore. Yeah.
Maybe I try that as a bit of flair, but I won't actually.
Yeah.
So deception.
Yes, deception with advantage, and I'll roll an insight check for him.
All right, there you go.
What'd you get?
20.
20. Very nice. All right. So wisdom.
Oh,
Wow, 19. So close, so close.
Oh my gosh.
So describe the scene for us, Toity. Like you're obviously lighting the rod up. You're
Lighting
pretending
the
like
rod.
you're doing it.
Pretending like I'm doing something, trying to like act like I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Like even maybe getting like a little like noisy.
Yeah.
Like trying to what are other cantrips I have? Nothing that could make it boom. Oh, here's what I could do. Actually, what I'll do. Wait, how bad would this be? Where is that? No, that just makes my voice carry. He'll just kind of, yeah. Wait, just what? Okay, what's the cantrip I'm thinking of that like can make your voice louder?
It's thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy. Thank you. Okay, I don't have it. So I think he's just gonna try and do it, like make this have kind of look like I'm like putting a lot of magical power into this, and
Of course. Yeah.
not really doing anything.
Yeah.
He's just casting light very enthusiastically.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, right, like, Tohil is a guy who knows magic, right? And so he probably should be able to see through this. So what is the reason? Why, what is the thing you go just a bit over the top with, right? And the thing you take a risk with, the last tip of the iceberg that makes him believe you rather than believing you're full of bullcrap?
I don't cast light in a language he speaks.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not the same magical words that he would use. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he has just enough unfamiliarity with the
I just do an halfling.
with the way that with the way that you do magic. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, and you're good enough of a showman and an entertainer to like make it seem as if you're not doing these normal spells, but it's all part of one more complicated ritual.
I mean, I'm fine with what I did, but I probably could have gone with a performance check too, couldn't I?
Yeah, probably, but the deception
But it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
So, you do that, and obviously nothing happens, right? The golem just sits there, and so Tohil just kind of he's been looking at you the whole time, and he finally looks over at the golem, sees it is not moving, looks back at you. So you really don't know what you did, or how to.
I thought that was it. We can always try again later, but I kind of have to be going, heading out soon. I'm sorry. I mean, if I can't do it, if I did it by pure luck, who's to say another one could try necessarily by if I can't do it by trying to do it.
The fact that a breach exists, even if you don't remember what it is very troubling to me. So we will have this conversation again.
Okay.
But we do have another job to do. All right, clear away the thoughts. Focus on the task at hand. All right, so could you send that fellow Darius to me? I have to get him to try this armor.
What about the gloves?
What about the gloves?
Weren't you gonna let me try them again? Hadn't you had time to work on them?
I didn't really have the time to work on those particularly. Yeah, they don't work.
Okay, well,
do you want to make an insight check?
He was a little busy being upset about the fact that you couldn't
That's
20.
That's what he wants you to think. Why did I roll dexterity? Sorry. Ignore that. Oh, I mean, the 4 is about as good as I was actually telling that. Right? Yeah, he's totally just lying. The reason he's so tired is he spent all night fixing those. But the thing is, he's actually figured it out now, and he wants to keep the gloves because he like fixed the size and fixed the curse problem, and so he's like, all right, they're mine now. Like, I don't need, you don't want them. You can totally just see that in his face.
I'm like, I've seen some pretty bad liars. But that kind of took the cake right there. But don't chalk it up to you being a little bit tired.
I don't know what you're talking about, and you're cluttering my workspace, so out. Thank you.
I'll just leave.
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever.
Cool. So
I'm not going to pick a fight with someone that's bigger than, I guess, the freaking golems.
Yeah. So Darius, you want to get some new armor, buddy?
Sure.
Yeah. So we see you finishing up with Raya, and you maybe look at the side of the room because you guys are probably in like the block of rooms that you kind of hang out in. And we see you look to the side, and we see your black plate armor that's been like eroded by oozes and stuff at this point, right? It's very beat up, and you kind of just like, all right, yeah, new armor, and then you like turn away from it and go down to where Tohil is. So Tohil presents you with what literally amounts to like an Iron Man suit, except it's made of clay. Like, that's what it looks like.
Clay man.
Like Clay
So
Man, that's basically
he
what
has
it is.
rockets.
No, it doesn't have rockets. You can't fly.
Oh.
But it looks a lot like it's
Well,
like a
but
lot
I
of
have
like
temperance.
interconnecting plates that are very like tight fitting sort of thing.
Okay, I am probably going to make Iron Man by Black Sabbath like mock-up for Darius.
Yeah, I am Darius.
Heavy boots of clay. No, he doesn't have boots of clay.
I am
And so-
Darius. I can jump real far.
Wow. And so actually, it's not okay. I guess it's maybe not as much Iron Man because Darius doesn't have the same body like type as Iron Man.
It's like the Hulk Iron Man suit.
Yeah, a little bit like that. I think even a little bit more like Ironmonger, the villain from the first Iron Man. So yeah, like bigger, bulkier version of like an Iron Man suit, except made out of clay. And so he presents this, and it looks a lot like this same type of clay, but the same type of like armor that his golems are literally made out of. It just looks like you can wear the golem instead, right? Like that's what's kind of going on there. So it's not quite as big as like the actual golem or like the Hulkbuster suit would be, because it's still like made for your size of a person. It doesn't make you like taller necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely very bulky. And so, yeah, I mean, he basically just like runs through what it can do with you. He like gives you like the technical specifications of this thing. And so he says, all right, so this suit is going to do a couple of things for you, Darius. I'm really excited for it. I'm not a warrior myself, you see, so this sort of thing maybe isn't the best fit for me personally. Not that I can't use these sorts of things to...
Well, it doesn't look like you'd fit into it anyway.
Yes, again, I made it exactly to work for you. What I'm saying is it's made to really help a warrior, specifically, to be able to augment their abilities. It should make you stronger. And, well, the main thing that I really like about this suit is, well, why don't you just try putting it on? And so, like, you're just looking at it, it's just like a solid suit that's just kind of like standing there on like a hook, right? Like on not a hook, but like a stand, right?
Right.
So what do you try to do exactly? Do you like...
I think Darius kind of looks over at it and he just kind of walks up to it. Do I put it on? Do I climb into it? Do I...
Oh, yes, sorry. Well, I'm attuned to it right now, so let me do this real quick. And he just kind of like seems to concentrate, and suddenly the clay plates literally just like open up as like a shell, and you can like step back into it, sort of a thing.
Okay, so I'm Master Chief. This is, well, sort of.
Yeah.
I guess. Anyway. Okay, so, cool. So Darius just kind of like nods, a little bit impressed, turns around, steps back into it.
Yeah, and it closes around you, right? And it's like these plates, and it doesn't sound like Iron Man suit, obviously, because it's made of clay. It's like a lot of like stone and stuff, like clinking together and like rubbing against each other.
Maybe
and,
a
like,
little
sliding.
bit of like magic sort of sound.
Yeah. Like stone. Yeah. Yeah, and so obviously it takes a little bit to attune to. It takes like an hour to attune to a magic item. And so I think like he runs you through some tests, like kind of informs you of like how to use the suit sort of thing over this hour. Okay. And so once you've attuned to it, basically, so there's a couple of things about this suit that Darius instantaneously knows, and he explains anyway. But this happens as soon as you're attuned. This is what happens. Your strength score is increased by 3.
Dang.
Oh, I'll take it.
What?
Strength plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me just... Clay suit. No, clay armor. Strength plus 3.
Yeah, the official name for it, I think, is experimental clay plate.
Clay plate.
And so another thing is, this armor can be donned or discarded in 6 seconds. So as long as you take 1 full round and do nothing else, you can take off or put on the armor.
Whoa.
Oh, it is definitely an Iron Man suit.
Yes, exactly, right?
If it had jets,
You can't
Thing
jump.
is, yeah, exactly. You already have deliverance, so
I just the thing is storing it. The thing would be like storing it, so I couldn't just run.
It doesn't fold down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not in a briefcase for you to carry around.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like your old armor folded up either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, it can stand up on its own. So you leave it and it just stands there, right? So, and only you can open it or close it, because you're attuned to it. And so, right, you can just be like, open, close, and then it's just standing there and no one can, like, move it or try to mess with it, sort of thing. And they could try, but it would be very heavy.
You can try and trap someone in there, Jordan.
Oh,
and so,
you know.
And so also it's plate armor. It functions as plate armor +2.
Oh.
Dang. Man, I should have asked for cool armor. I was just like, just give me leather. It's fine.
But this is
+2 full
experimental.
plate?
That's the thing.
He hasn't gotten around to the bad parts yet.
+2 full plate?
Yeah, the highest armor in the book, yeah.
Gosh.
I don't think there's a distinction in 5e between plate and full plate. It's half plate and then just plate. But yeah, so I mean, he gets through like the technical specifications of this thing and tells you what he can do and like how it makes you stronger and all this stuff. And he seems kind of like nervous almost, because he's just like, well, good, great. It seems like it fits nicely. Just practice with it a bit more, and I'm sure it will come in handy. Absolutely.
And Darius says, so are there any sort of cracks in the armor?
Cracks? No,
About?
I mean, spotless, as you can see. Absolutely spotless. Just no cracks. Mm-mm.
No weaknesses.
Weaknesses. Oh, I mean, it makes you stronger. How could it be? I mean, weaknesses? It's a contradiction.
So you're telling me this experimental armor is not experimental anymore. It's completely, fully functional without any flaws or drawbacks.
Drawbacks is the word maybe that brings up a couple of red flags. So when I was experimenting with his armor before, it did have the nasty habit, if it was struck ever so hard, sometimes it exploded.
On the inside or on the outside?
Both.
Well.
So just
Don't get it.
be careful, I guess. And so for actually, I'm not going to tell you the specifics because I think you'll probably have to find that out for yourself.
It's going to be like a certain amount of damage they have to do to it.
He's like, it doesn't all explode. It's just kind of like a section decides to explode.
I'm guessing at a specific AC.
So just careful, you know? I think maybe what might be the best idea is if we just kind of put you out in front, and then we're all like back here like throwing things at the enemy. That would probably work the best.
I think it would work the best if I didn't get hit. But you know, there's this little problem when people want to kill you. Usually they're trying to hit you.
That would be an issue, especially in armor, wouldn't it? Yep. Well,
So
good luck.
it's-
Hope it goes well.
Darius kind of like, I assume he kind of walks off.
Yeah, and so I think you notice that he's always been staying at a certain distance from you, and then as you like come closer to him to like leave the room, he just like makes sure he's still at that radius.
Yeah, I feel like so is the other guy leaving the room, right?
No, it's just him. He's just kind of like
But
he's staying there. You're in his laboratory. So.
Okay. I think Darius kind of like like walks out and then like kind of stops and says to himself, "It always has to be me, doesn't it?" And then just keeps going.
Yeah, it really does, Darius. It really does. Yeah.
What's your AC now? Just curious.
Give me a sec.
Because, hey, they probably just won't even be able to hit you at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if it's high enough, just will never get hit.
I am working on it. Come on. Where's the thing that lets me edit?
But yeah, so that happens.
Alright,
New
so
armor for Darius.
AC. Does everyone really just want to know?
Yeah,
Want
of
to know what
course.
it is? Including my shield?
Yeah.
My AC is now 22.
Ooh, dang.
Oh
job,
my
dude.
gosh.
For the +3 strength, do I just add it to my current score?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yay, Darius is strong again.
Yeah, just remember that your original is 14. Actually, there might be a way to do it.
There is.
Change it back to 14 for me real quick, and then I'll
There is a way to do it because I have
like
it for
have
my
an extra
decks.
added thing. Yeah.
The gauntlets, because the gauntlets of Ogre Power did that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go. I got it. In the gear options. There you go. It is modified now.
Right.
So it has the little asterisks next to it, so it's like,
Yeah.
this is not your normal number. But yeah, that's my gift to you, Jordan. Use it wisely.
Don't explode it.
Don't explode it.
Well, see,
Not a
here's
scratch.
the beautiful thing, Caleb. I don't plan on exploding. Well, I can't say that. I'm
There will definitely be a time where Darius will probably figure out exactly at what points it explodes, and then you'll be able to make it explode if you want it to.
no, but here's the question: if it explodes, does it destroy?
So
That's the thing.
from the sounds of it, Tohil didn't go into a lot of detail. And maybe he even doesn't know that much, but it seemed to be that like if it got hit hard enough in a specific area, then that section of the armor would explode, and so it would probably
Just destroy that section.
destroy
of the
that
armor.
section. So not the whole armor isn't going to explode. Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to go around like this, and then eventually, I'm just going to I'm going to be a naked Darius.
Possibly. But I mean, you're also bringing the
slowly
guy who
lose
made
AC.
it. You're bringing the guy who made it with you, so he could probably fix it too.
Good. So I'm bringing the guy who made it. So if something happens and I don't like that thing that happens, I know who I can blame.
Yes, absolutely. You can take it up with customer service. Yes, absolutely.
Wait,
Just
Tohil's
like
coming
Sansa.
with us. I feel like I didn't realize Tohil was coming with us.
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
Head,
lock your
shoulders,
tent
heels, and
doors.
toes, heels.
Yeah. Lock your tent doors.
Hide your, lock your tents, lock your bags.
Hide
somehow.
kids, hide your wife, hide your kids. hide
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that anyone would like to do before Kaawi and Vakub and whoever else before the 5 help Darius figure out his transcendence stuff?
I think. I have one thing that I want to do right before we do it. But if anyone else has anything else, they can probably do it now.
I see shaking heads.
Okay. Yeah, I think Darius basically just has a conversation with Temperance. With
Right. Yeah.
with Temperance.
With Temperance / Willow. Yeah, for sure.
Tempered will.
Yeah, with the tempered will. Yeah. What do you say?
I think Darius is just kind of like, well, I have some interesting new armor.
I noticed that. I hope you don't explode, Darius.
Yeah. I think that's the general consensus. I have second thoughts about it, but honestly, I don't think we have many other options.
It's true. Things are going to get very dangerous, I think.
As if they weren't before.
Did you have something you wanted to ask me, Darius?
I did. Are your memories recovering at all, Temperance?
A little bit. I think I had to leave. I think I left on purpose. The shrine, I mean. Ketz, he spoke to me. He let me know that the shrine was dangerous. It was too much of a risk. I'm sorry, that's all I can remember.
That's okay. I'm going to really need your help throughout these next few days.
Of course. I'll help you as much as I can.
I don't suppose you know anything about moving between planes of existence.
I do, actually. If you remember, I often visited the astral plane.
I do remember. I don't suppose you have any tips?
Well, the issue is, I'm not sure if it's the same for me as it is for you. We're very different, you and I. Though I suppose, given what I know about your transcendence, we're both transcendent for the same reason. We were touched by a god. The same god, in fact. Here,
So maybe
this will help. And then your mind is flooded suddenly with like a bunch of like technical specifications, like a weird like.
oh my gosh! I am Iron Man, and Temperance is. It's Friday.
Oh my gosh! Temperance is Friday. That's so true. Oh boy.
I'm going to be regularly consulting
All right,
Temperance
sir.
about battle decisions now.
I think I found a way for you to get through the plains, Mr. Stark.
Who's Spider-Man in this situation? Is that Miggy?
Yes. Spider-Man is me.
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh! I've got a little
oh,
guy.
no.
Well, no, because then
Nah, because Arie is training Miggy in this
Yeah.
situation. Anyway, we don't need to do this right now.
yeah,
We've done this with everything else. What Scooby-Doo characters are we?
Oh my!
What Blue's characters
We
are we?
literally did that. We spent like 20 minutes figuring that out.
I don't remember that, but that must have been a while ago. Anyway,
I'm pale.
Yeah.
Can't
I
you
almost
tell?
jumped
I
on
think
a
we
piece
said
of
you were a
popcorn.
mailbox. I think that's what we said.
Oh, did we? I don't even remember that conversation.
I don't either.
Me and Miggy are salt and pepper.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Fire and ice.
And eventually there will be a little paprika on the way.
Ari can't have children.
I know. No, Buck is paprika.
Buck is paprika. You were so right.
Weird sentences out of context.
Buck is paprika. Anyway, so Temperance fills your head with like, I don't know, maybe not technical specifications exactly, but whatever the arcane equivalent of technical specifications are. So it's a lot of stuff that's really difficult for you to understand, but if you can find a way to explain it to Ka'awi, then you both might be able to figure out a bit more about how to do it. So what I'm saying is you're going to get advantage on some rolls here.
Yay!
But yeah. You want to have that figure out how to transcend the planes scene?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. So, question is, are we gonna have like a test run of this, just you first, or
Does Ari let me do it by myself or anybody else?
I feel like that's the most safe way to do it.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I mean, Darius probably just goes to Ka'awi without telling anyone, right? Like,
Yeah, I
he
feel
probably
like
doesn't even
this
let
is-
them like say like, no, you can't go on your own. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Darius probably goes on. Is probably kind of on his own with this. And I think he just wants to figure out how he can move himself between planes first, or a different object.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to try transporting some mundane object first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we get like a montage of you and Kaawi like figuring out some sort of arcane formula, some kind of sort of arcane ritual based on Willow's / Temperance's specifications, and you're trying to, I don't know, like transport a cup or whatever to specifically to the Feywild, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Or
have
something.
you. Yeah.
Something that would be that coming back from the Feywild, we'd know, hey, this was in the Feywild. We can tell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could figure that out exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess like you just be like, send a cup there, have it come back, and then I guess it went somewhere, so I guess I'll go there, right?
It's almost like we need an advanced form of locate object.
Yeah. But I think what I want to have you do, Darius, is make a wisdom save with advantage.
Ooh, okay.
Try to figure this out.
And because it's a save, I get my aura of protection.
We see Darius in front of a hologram. He's like, let's run the diagnostic again and figure out how time travel works here.
Yeah.
In one night.
He just talked to Syrian.
Here it goes. Well.
Okay, it
17.
disappears.
It's 17.
Oh, it's a 17.
Oh,
right,
it's a 17. Okay.
because he has increased wisdom save stuff.
I have increased any save.
Right. Yeah. I didn't mean to make it exclusive,
yeah.
but yeah. Yeah, it disappears. So what exactly were you trying to make it do? Like disappear and then come back after a certain period of time? Or was it like, because I'm not sure you could make it come back if you just sent it there without any way of like being connected with it. I don't think you can just reach into the Feywild and then make it come back if you didn't like already set up the whatever plane shift thing you're doing to like expire.
I think it's probably just like that might be like, does it make more sense to like progression wise, like to have something that it's there temporarily, then it's back, or something that it's there and then I have to go there and get it back, like I have to do it
either
again.
way. I think Kaawi even maybe like looks at you and kind of, you're having this conversation, and he says, I could see it working both ways. The issue would be there are pros and cons to both. I think we could accomplish both. There would be pros and cons, obviously, to each one of them. If we had a timer, if there was an expiration date on this, then the cup would come back at a certain time. But the issue is the Feywild is a dimension parallel to our own. It wouldn't come back here if someone found it or grabbed it. Same way with you all, if we transported you there and we set up the ritual to have some sort of expiration, you would be transported back to Thray, wherever you found yourselves on the other side, which might be dangerous. We could try it the other way, send it back without an expiration date, but that means you, Darius, would be solely responsible for getting them back. You'd have to repeat it without me. What do you think is the best course of action?
First, we have it transported there, and we have it back in 1 minute.
All right. So you send the cup there,
Yeah.
and then you guys wait for a minute, and the cup comes back.
Does it look any different? A little wet or anything?
Probably, yeah, a little wet. There's probably like a swamp where it ended up.
Okay. Alright. That seemed to work.
Do you want to try it now? Same timer, a minute?
I suppose we're not going to get anywhere if I don't.
Okay. Make another wisdom save with advantage.
Yerk. Ooh!
Nice.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's 24, 25, 26, 28.
28, yeah. So, Darius, you suddenly, there's a whoosh of air, this weird, like, mind-bending sort of thing, where just like, going somewhere up, and then you pop into existence, splat into a big puddle of water. You're in some sort of primordial swamp. And you look around, and, I mean, you hear lots of animal noises, weird animal noises you're not familiar with. It's like, the same, it seems familiar to the Feywild you were in before with the owl. What do you do in the minute that you're there?
I think... in the minute that Darius is there... Oh, man. Are there any trees nearby?
Yes, you are in a swamp.
Okay, well, I meant like right nearby. Like there's
Sure,
one
yeah.
right. Okay. So I think Darius goes up to a nearby tree and just makes like a small distinct mark on it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sure. Darius was here. WZ.
Yeah. Yeah.
WZ. With your rudimentary knowledge of writing.
Yeah.
You just put a D for Darius.
It's,
know how to do
like
that.
the one thing that he knows how to
Yeah,
do.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, he kind of puts a D and then just kind of, for the rest of the time, tries to keep an eye on everything around him.
Okay.
Listens and
Yeah, are you trying to be particularly, like, inconspicuous?
I guess I'm trying to be more particularly
Observant?
observant. I think it would be a perception.
Right, yeah, I'm not saying that you... but yeah, I guess, like, if you're... I guess my question is, are you doing that at the sake of self? Or are you going to try to be stealthy while being observant? Or you're going to not care about stealth and just focus on being observant?
I think it's more focused on being observant.
Okay, yeah, so make a perception check
Doop.
with your +1. Okay, 13. Nothing out of the ordinary. I think you definitely see lots of, like, strange birds and bugs and things. You don't notice anything, like, dangerous or hear anything in the distance that sounds dangerous or weird or out of the ordinary for the Feywild, at least. The space around you doesn't look interesting at all. It's just kind of like a middle of a swamp.
Okay.
You're, ankle deep in mud.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think Darius just kind of waits it out, and he's like probably he has temperance out, and he's got his shield out, just to be cautious. And he's wearing the clay armor, obviously.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, and so I think, like, we kind of hear you, like, counting down. 5, 4, 3. You're waiting for it, and then right before you go back, I think we get a shot on a nearby tree, a couple yards away from you, several yards away from you, and we just see a little hummingbird just kind of, like, sitting on a branch, like, looking at you, and you haven't noticed the hummingbird, but then you're you pop out of existence back. And you're, you get mud all over Kawi's room here. Yeah.
All right.
It worked.
It did.
And nothing tried to kill you on the other side?
Not this time.
Well, we'll have to just try it again. I'm sorry, that was a joke.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You people had an effect on me, I think. Anyway. Because you guys have been spending a lot of time together, you and this dude.
Yeah.
So.
But
yeah, he says we can try it with everyone if you want. Take any preparations you still need, of course, but.
I think Darius wants to try one more time with without a timer.
Without a timer, so you have to do it on your own to get back? Okay, yeah. So you say that, and I think he says, are you sure?
What if we run out of time?
We can... Yes, I suppose. You're not going to be in the Feywild for that long. It's just enough time to go talk to Zunum and convince him to come with you. 2 days should be enough. You can always just abandon it early and make sure you get to a safe place and then try again if something goes wrong.
I guess I only fear any sort of delays.
We've waited hundreds of years for this, Darius. I think we can afford to wait a little bit longer, even with Nahuatl being captured.
I meant delays while we're in the Feywild.
Of course. Well, the spell should take you from wherever you are instantaneously. You won't have to be back here, so you would at least come back to the real world. Even if it doesn't have to be exactly here again. Oh, don't worry, you won't end up in the middle of a mountain or something. The spell doesn't work like that.
I'm more concerned of maybe a camp or a village that we don't really need to be in.
And you don't think that you all can handle that? From what Zamana said, you seem to be quite a capable group.
Can we handle it? I think we'll be alright. But I worry for the ones you send with us. Because I cannot promise.
He raises an eyebrow and he says, I would not be worrying about them, Darius. They are perfectly capable. Tohil maybe not so much, but the rest of them. But honestly, if he died, I wouldn't care that much.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean, it's honestly hard to tell if that was a joke or not.
I don't think Darius roll it. I don't think he'd try to.
Just as a preface,
yeah.
Arie would like to volunteer to go with Darius on this, trying to
I don't think Darius has told anyone that he's doing this right now. Is the issue?
No, but I know because
no, right? You know that he's
that they want to try to use his powers.
Yes, but Darius has not informed anyone that they're testing it right now. Yeah, exactly. He just for this specific reason. Yeah.
I just want to say, so with this test, did we establish that in this world, the Feywild time and normal lifetime work at the same rate?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make an Arcana check for Kawi to see if he can figure out how to in the whatever ritual is going on here, put in some sort of thing that will maybe make that happen.
Well, because
Darius
went in and counted to a minute or whatever, and then came back as expected. So that's
right,
why
exactly. And so I'm gonna roll right now to see if that actually was the case.
Okay.
Because I think that's something that Kawi could probably figure out. Because he would probably be aware of it, but I'm gonna make a roll to see for sure. Otherwise, yes, that is a perfectly reasonable thing, and then I would have you guys roll on the table, and we'd see what the time dilation would be. But Kawi's pretty good at this, so.
It was apparently enough that Darius didn't notice much of a difference.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Man, he rolled a 6 on that.
What?
Yeah,
Holy cow.
Wait, he's a plus.
Yeah, he has a plus 13. You don't get to be the elder wizard of a village for nothing, or of a secret organization like rebel organization.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I was like, wow, he rolled really well. And now I'm like, oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, so I think
Rolls a nat 20, gets a 33.
he would have gotten a 33. Yeah, I was hoping that would be the case. So I think it did work when Darius went there. There's no time dilation. It's unclear whether or not it would maybe break down after a certain amount of time, or if there would be some sort of complication because of it, but it seems like it would be okay. He's good enough to know about it and to put in some sort of stop, some sort of fix that would help even that out, but he didn't get like a ridiculously high roll that would be like, yeah, there's no possible complications that could happen with this. It's still the Feywild, so there might be something that would happen, but for now, it seems safe. Yeah. So yeah, Darius, you want to go without a timer then, or no?
I guess not.
Okay.
But I do want to try with a timer. I want to try with a timer with another person.
Okay, who do you go grab?
Yeah, and I think so. It's kind of framed as like, he explains that. And he's like, I want to try again, but I want to bring another.
And who would that be?
And then we just get.
Do we just cut to?
We just cut to
Yeah.
Darius. So Arie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were definitely on the same wavelength there for like cinematic tension. Yeah.
Yep.
What's
I need
up,
your
guy?
help going on a trip.
A trip? We're not going to the countryside, I'm assuming.
I mean,
I'm not going to the mountains to have a skiing trip.
it's not. Yeah.
Are you trying to figure out your transcendence thing?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out
What's
how
her
to.
face? I think she says that. She's like, what's her face kind of explained to me that's what they're going to use you for.
Right. And
You don't know who what's her face is, Darius.
yeah. Right. What's her face exactly? I think I figured out how to move between myself and I can move another object. But now I need to be sure I can move another person.
Okay.
Will you come with me? It will be quick. We will only be there a minute.
Of course, Darius. Of course I'll go with you.
Okay, so I guess we probably both reappear to.
Okay, yeah. So we see Kawi making some like modifications on the ritual. Okay, all right. This should work still. Now, we did it on an object, so it should totally be fine with another person. The only difference is life energy is at play now instead of just your life energy. I mean, we won't know for sure unless we try it. So let's just try it. And yeah, he's like, ready when you are.
Yeah,
Arie
so,
takes Darius's hand and says, I trust you.
Darius looks up and just smiles a bit, and he nods. And I trust you.
All right.
Which is why I asked you to come. And
So Darius, make a wisdom save without advantage, just a straight roll.
okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
That's
so
a 25
altogether. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'll take it.
So, if you had gotten lower, I probably would have had Arie make a wisdom save because there might be like a complication or something. Because you didn't, you channel whatever this is just through you and you handle it. So Arie doesn't really feel anything, and then whoop, you guys have popped into existence in the face swamp.
I want to cast Pass Without Trace immediately.
Immediately, yeah. Sure.
So
Yeah,
we'll
you guys
stealth.
blend into the swamp. Suddenly, you guys are in ghillie suits.
Like there's just moss that's hanging off of my.
Exactly, you're right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that should have been a feature. It's like it just blends in. +1 to stealth.
So I'm just like whispering. I'm like, so this is the Feywild, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a version of this Yolotli Basin, except like even more primordial and like old. And
I think like Darius first goes over to see if he can find the tree that he made the mark.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems undisturbed. It's just sitting
And
there still
then
on the
the
tree.
mark-
Can I make a perception check?
Yeah, you want to scour the area?
Yeah, or
I
would
think
that
more
be
investigation.
perception?
If you're
Or
like actually like going around, especially because you have stealth up, I think there's a difference here.
right.
Yeah, you can investigate. Yeah, do it.
Oh,
Nice.
19.
Well, not a crit, but could have been 19. Okay, so
I'll still take a 19. 19's good.
yeah, it's good. What did you get before? Darius, you got a 13. Okay, so Arie, you see the same things that Darius saw, right? Nothing dangerous that like jumps out to you. Especially with the stealth. Do you both of you guys just make stealth rolls real quick for that though?
Okay.
It's a +10,
Yeah, I'm fine.
and you have disadvantage, Darius, because of the.
Oh,
14.
So 14. Okay.
that was dangerous.
Yeah, you still don't see like any monsters come looking for you. You don't hear any roars in the distance or whatever, right? But Arie, I think you do notice that there's a hummingbird, and it's just obviously watching you guys. Like, I mean, you've seen hummingbirds in the jungle before since you've been here, and they don't stay in one place very long ever for any reason.
I would like to
whatsoever.
cast Speak with Animals,
Yeah. Okay.
and I would like to talk to it.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
I would like to say, because I've seen hummingbirds around.
Oh yeah, but only like
Have I ever?
like none of
But I
them have
haven't
been.
seen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't seen any in the Yolotli Basin. I'm assuming.
No, you have. No, you wouldn't have seen any. They're only American species. They don't live anywhere else. So you've only seen them in these jungles. But you've only seen them like probably from a distance, and they all like flare around. They fly really quickly somewhere, and they don't stay around very long. They go to a flower, they suck its nectar, and they go away. That's what they do. They don't sit on a branch and look at you. So this seems a little odd.
I would just like to say, I'd like to say hello.
And it seems startled, like it kind of like goes like this. Oh, hello. I didn't know you could. Oh, this is embarrassing.
So you are an animal, not a fae.
Well, the lines are a little slippery here, but yeah.
Have you ever heard of the hummingbird suitor?
Have you?
Well, yeah, I just asked you.
Right. You must forgive me.
You're so cute.
Thank you? I don't know how to respond to that, I must say.
Have you ever heard of the hummingbird suitor?
Yes. I imagine that you would have gathered that already by the response question I asked you. It seems like we both heard of the hummingbird suitor. I'm sorry. We should probably really get going, and he just starts to like kind of like fly around. You can say something as he tries to leave, but
I would just like to say, gosh, what would I already say?
I have places to be, things to do.
I'm late.
These
Dang it,
flowers,
Ronan!
these flowers
gonna
won't
say-
pollinate themselves.
They don't have self-pollinating flowers here. Count the
They
times,
probably
people.
do. They probably do.
Right.
It's the
The
Feywild.
Feywild. I'm just trying to think if she would like try to get him to stay, or if she'd just be like, "See you later."
Right.
If
Yeah,
she's
you
just
could,
trying to-
you could say something and then roll a persuasion check or an animal handling or whatever to try to get it to stay and talk to you if you wanted.
I mean, we only have a minute though. That's the thing. Like,
Mhm.
half of this conversation probably took the last half, so
Yeah.
she's probably just like, "Bye."
Yeah, and then that you guys pop back.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna do something.
Yeah,
while
sure.
she's-
I mean, while she's doing
Um,
that, yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. While she's doing that, I think Darius just like he takes like as soon as they pop in, he checks the tree, makes another quick little divot on the tree, makes a simple again, and then he takes a deep breath.
Do you
and
write
he
an
throws-
A for Arie?
Does Darius know an A?
Probably at this point.
It probably puts D and A.
And you put a heart around it.
No.
Oh.
An arrow through it.
Yeah.
Can I just make an animal handling check to see how well I came across to it, though?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you were very nice to it and cordial. It was just very awkward. Like, it was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking to you at all. Bye. I need to go do stuff. It wasn't mad at you or whatever.
No, that's fine. I understand that. I just wanted to see, like, if I were to ever see the hummingbird again, would it, like...
Yeah, it would like you.
It would like me. Cool.
It seemed flustered more than anything.
I just want animals to like me. That's all.
Fair. Yeah.
You know,
Ari does
Darius
not
wanted that
care
one.
about people liking her,
I
but...
care about animals liking me. It's not people.
Yeah. Yeah, Darius, anything else you're going to do?
Yeah. So, Darius makes whatever marks in the tree, and then he takes a deep breath, and he puts on the hood. And I just want to sense the life force around.
Yeah.
And just get a sense of the Feywild.
Okay, first make a wisdom save for me.
Come on.
Okay, so you
23.
barely hold back the like wave of like it's almost as if you were in a completely monochrome room and then suddenly the color was like turned up all the way in vibrancy. And so it's like it's a kind of crazy looking place, but like now you have this second sense that's like overlaid on top of it, right? And everything is just super bright because everything is just filled with life energy. It's almost it's really hard to see anything or distinguish shapes or whatever because there's so much of it here. Yeah. But you managed to like kind of like squint against the sun for a little bit, sort of a thing. Yeah. Then what do you want to try to do?
I just want to. I don't know. I guess Darius is really just trying to gain a sense of the life of the forest and like just kind of practicing with the hood a little bit. Maybe he can like just have some sort of better understanding, like navigating it or like feeling like he understands it a little more or something. Just trying to understand like trying to understand the Feywild as a whole, like in comparison with his normal reality.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like you're using the hood specifically to do that. You're just using it as a filter by which to make figure out this information. So you're not. My question or my thought was you're not using the life energy thing per se. You're just kind of like.
Well, I'm using the life energy thing because I want to see it and kind of feel and understand it.
Okay. So make a charisma check then. Yeah.
Okay. Charisma check.
Yep.
Not charisma save.
Yes. Remember we had this conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
I know charisma saves are your best thing ever, but you can't unfortunately use them. So 14. Okay. Yeah. It's just there's just too much. If you had enough time, maybe you could figure this out. But I mean,
but I understand that there's a lot of it. Like,
yes, and I mean it makes sense given the explanations you've gotten from Kawi and Temperance, right? Like this is where magic comes from. Like legitimately, right? Like
this is where the magic happens.
Right, yeah, this is where the magic happens. This is the energy that exists in this place is literally in a literal sense like what makes magic items possible, what makes people possible. This is the embodiment of life, right? And so right, like because of the way magic items work, because they're imbued with life energy. Yeah, you see the same sort of energy just kind of like everywhere here. It's just all one big old blob of life energy, which makes it very difficult to determine anything about it, except that it's a big blob.
Yeah. And then I think Darius kind of puts the hood down and just kind of like regains his senses right before they pop back out.
Sure. Yeah, so you guys pop back. It sounded like it worked. So, is this the, like, gear up montage?
We're all like, they did one test run for time travel and it worked, so let's all go now.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think they pop back in, And Darius turns to Arie. Well, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be. That hummingbird was nice.
Excuse me.
What?
Seemed quite put off that I could speak to it, but you know.
Okay, cool.
I
So
think Darius is just like, there was a hummingbird?
there was a hummingbird. All I could see was like a bunch of light. So yeah, we get the epic gear up sequence. So I think we see, right, like a montage. What's the music? Help me guys. What's the music that is playing during this sequence in the show version of this?
I tag it.
Oh, what is the... have you seen Young Justice?
No, my brothers are watching it right now. Probably they've been obsessing about it.
Have you seen the opening of Young Justice?
No.
At least. Because I feel like there's like the song, if I'm remembering it right.
What's the style at the very least, right, of the music that's playing? Is this a rock song? Are we getting like electric guitars and drums, or?
I feel like there's a little bit of electronic sort of sound, but like a little bit of rock as well. Is kind of what I picture.
Electronic, okay.
So like I guess it's kind of hard to explain. It's hard to explain.
Okay, yeah. So we get this rock intro or montage sequence. And so I think we see, right, we see Huracan, the big old sergeant dude with the great Makaweedle. We see him kind of put on this like bone armor. And he hefts like a two-handed big old Makaweedle. It's even bigger than Temperance. Like it's a massive weapon. And he just has like a grim look on his face as his hair like kind of flares. He gets ready to join you guys. We see Akna, just like we see Akna like grabbing her arrows and her bow and like slinging them over her shoulder, and then we see her grabbing two hand axes and like flipping them and putting them in her like belt loops, grabbing a satchel, and then her and her jaguar like run off. And we see Tohil, and he is like putting on the sneak gloves. And he grabs it looks like a gauntlet of clay, just like one kind of like big old glove gauntlet thing, and he just kind of like grabs it and like stuffs it in his bag and like, you know, ties it up.
Does it have a place for 6 stones?
No. Gosh. This is the end game episode apparently.
No, this is the Infinity War episode, right? No,
that's-
no,
This is the end game.
This is Endgame because
Yeah, this is Endgame.
it's transportation and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we see him kind of like gather a bunch of like trinkets and things and like throw them in his bag. And he grabs his satchel too.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
fine with this being the Endgame episode as long as I don't have to be Fat Thor.
Remember, you're Iron Man.
Yeah.
Um,
Spoiler alert! If you're watching this and you haven't seen Endgame, I'm sorry.
It's the statute of limitations has passed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. We're fine. You haven't seen it by now? Sorry. Like,
And then yeah, I want to see like what are you guys what is your guys' gear up sequence? What does that look like? Who do we see? What do we see you guys doing?
I guess I put on my new armor and I'm kind of like still slightly uncomfortable with it because it doesn't move like with
Yeah,
my
we see Raya in her
body as
new
well as
her new outfit.
chainmail.
Yeah.
And then I like am kind of ready with my armor. And then if we're about to leave, I want to do some drugs so I can have orb powers going into
Okay.
Feywild.
Don't do
Okay.
drugs. Yes.
Yeah, you want to make a con save for me? So we see Raya snorting a line.
this is the one time that she fails. Watch.
Okay, and I have advantage, so it's fine. 7. Yes!
Nice.
Yes, the first time that you actually rolled something bad.
Okay.
For the first
So
time
what
in
makes this go wrong, Raya?
forever,
Why does this go horribly wrong?
Raya's getting stoned.
It's like it's really early in the morning.
Like, do you take too much?
I
Or-
think it's just kind of like it's early in the morning. I didn't really eat breakfast because I was too
Oof, that's
like,
a mistake right there. Don't take drugs on an
distracted.
empty stomach.
I was too distracted by being excited about Spoo
Right.
and then going and reading with Darius. So I think I did drugs on an empty stomach and probably did a little extra to be like, well, if a little bit made me that powerful, then more should make me
Right.
more powerful, right?
Of course.
That's how it works.
Yeah, and for some reason, I think it just has to do with like Raya's mindset this morning, because she's not taking the drugs, right, to like make her sucky life better. Things are actually kind of looking up. So maybe
Right.
she just takes a bit too much because she's like kind of optimistic about it. She's like, yeah, power. Let's just light it up. Let's do this. And yeah, you smoke a bit too much. So Raya, you're gonna be very high during this next.
I'd just like to
sequence.
know. Just say in my notes, I have written down Raya gets a little too high.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're blasting off again.
Raya is Raya like Nebula?
Yeah, a little bit,
Just a
kind of.
little-
Just because we're both blue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, what do we see from everybody else in their montage sequence?
Toity is probably he doesn't really have anything to get ready with. Like he hasn't gotten any new.
So what do I mean? This is like, give us a description for new season 4 outfit like Toity, right? Like, because your hair is gone now.
He doesn't have a new outfit. He
Your
just
hair and your beard are gone.
yeah, that's true. It's just that there's
Try to
nothing.
control the fire on your head.
Probably that's what it is. He's probably like
Yeah, what's
playing
the
around with the
hairstyle
fire.
you've chosen?
Fire. He hasn't gotten that far yet. He probably just has like a fire. He's working on he's like making like a fire.
Torch? A torch is my hairstyle.
He's just trying to control like a short flame on his beard.
Right.
He's kind of like nervously like flipping his ion stone in his hands as he's thinking through things.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, sure. Arie or Darius? Yeah.
I put on my new fancy studded leather
Mm-hmm.
armor.
Yeah.
It's very form fitting because it's
Very form fitting.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he's the one who, got a little too handsy with me and, made it very fit.
Does Ari's new outfit have like a midriff or something? Like, right?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It's still got to be good armor,
Right, of course, yeah.
You guys say my
but yeah,
jokes
maybe
so
it's
bad.
just a little too form fitting. I don't know if
Right,
Nikki's-
right. But I think that's intentional on Tohil's part, right? Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Ari's just like, whatever. I don't care if it works. It works.
And it's not uncomfortable. It's just, yeah.
No, of course not. And I think she just like gives Nikki like a kiss on the cheek, and she's just like, "Well, here we go."
Yeah, and so we see Miggy, right? Like he's kind of like gearing up. And I think Miggy has an outfit change. Like I think I mean, at this point, like the clothes that he's worn have been torn up, and like he probably brought a change of clothes. But I think Miggy is feeling like the general vibe of these fire genasi, and I think like he's kind of adapted a little bit more of a rugged kind of like explorer outfit, like more along the lines of your outfit rather than like, because he went from like being a nobleman, right, who was pretending to be an adventurer to like actually being an adventurer, and so we've been seeing that progression through the seasons, and now I think he's gotten to the point where his outfit kind of actually matches like someone who should be out in the jungle sort of a thing. Yeah, we see him put on his rapier and his dagger and get his stuff together, and then we see Darius.
Yeah,
Please tell us this awesome
yeah.
suit up sequence.
So I think Darius is like in his room and he's just kind of pacing a little bit, and he's walking around, and he's just kind of like, he's like looking at the armor and just pacing back and forth, kind of rubbing his beard a little bit, like combing his beard, and then he stops and he takes out his see what I'm thinking is like Darius might make like a few aesthetic modifications, but I don't know if he can do that without actually damaging the armor.
Say that again. You were asking me a question. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, I think Darius would like try to make some sort of aesthetic modifications to the armor.
Oh yeah. Do you have like war paint or something? Do you like? Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's just like kind of like a tan clay armor, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. How would Darius stylize it? Is he like painting it? Is he?
I mean,
hanging things on it.
I mean, how does Darius paint it though?
I mean, they could give you paint. You could find
okay.
paint somewhere.
Yeah. So I think.
You paint it red and gold.
Yes. No. No. Actually, I think he paints it like black and green.
Okay.
About to say, he sees his armor and he wants to paint it black.
I'm glad you like that meme, by the way, Jordan.
What kind of green exactly?
Like a dark green.
Like a dark green.
Like a dark grassy green. Is that like?
Yeah.
And he just kind of like stylizes it, makes it a little more like the plate armor that he had before, but.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then he kind of steps in, and
the plates like close around you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he, pulls out temperance, and he's, got all of his like satchels or whatever.
Where do you hold temperance on your person? Like where are you sheathing it exactly?
Normally, it would be on his back.
Yeah, and I think you can still figure out a way to do that.
Yeah. And I think like, oh man, it would be so cool if there was like a little thing that was like, where he could like just pop it onto the armor, so it would just kind of sit there in place. I feel like that's not.
I don't think it has like magnetism on it or whatever.
No, not magnetism. Just like
I know.
Like the two little slots where you just like put something in and it sits in there. And it stays put. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think it would have something like that.
Okay.
It's pretty sleek.
Yeah.
On the outside, so yeah, you could have your normal like back strap thing. You could slide it through, but
I think he has. How does it
steak?
Oh snap!
Pork chops?
Wow.
Is that what you just said? Pork loin steak. Okay, cool, awesome. Yum.
Good decision.
Looks
Enjoy.
delicious.
What kind of how does everybody else carry theirs, like throughout the village? Anyone that has a maka weedle.
How did people carry maka weedles? Maka weedle, the wooden sword of the Aztecs. Maybe
a maka weedle sheath.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, like, how do they hold it? Do. Not seeing anything in particular. Yeah, because the issue is they have those like obsidian like blades that are kind of like on the outside of it. It would be kind of difficult for you to slide it into some sort of like actual sheath because the obsidian would like break off and stuff. You got caught in something. Well, I guess it's magical though.
Oh, well, yeah, Darius probably just has some sort of
It probably is like a sheath or something that like kind of ties it to your back, but doesn't like actually put it in a sleeve of any sort.
Yeah.
And we don't need to know the specifics of it, but yeah.
We have never established how Toity carries around the Rod of Rulership.
There's a lot of things that we haven't established how things are carried.
Why do I have 2,000 gold in my backpack? Yeah.
But yeah, I think he puts the armor on, puts temperance, kind of sheathes it or whatever, and puts deliverance on, and
Yeah, we see you strapping on your sandals.
yeah.
Sure. There's
And I feel like
Yeah.
he like has a little bit of difficulty at first trying to actually tighten his like with the armor just kind of being a little bigger.
Yeah.
Like bulkier.
So
It's like,
question, because I'm just realizing now, like technically in plate armor you would have a helmet, but I've never imagined Darius wearing a helmet because he has like the hood. Is that the same with the clay? Like I don't care either way, but does it make sense to you? Would you rather have it aesthetically be there's no helmet and you just have like the cape and hood and stuff that you can pull over?
Did he make a helmet?
He wouldn't have made a helmet if that is your aesthetic choice in this moment. I'm letting you determine that.
Yeah,
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Darius made a helmet. I don't think Darius would have.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So we see everybody like make their way to this room. There's like a big circle drawn on the ground, with like chalk and stuff. And everybody kind of like gets in their places, and everybody looks at each other, and then everybody says, "Whatever it takes." And then
Oy vey.
And then Darius just raises temperance and says and goes, "Wakanda forever!"
fire people forever. Yeah.
The Lakadoli forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So y'all walk into a room with each other. Everybody sees their companions. I guess Buck and a jaguar are also coming.
Yeah, wouldn't go without
Yeah,
Buck.
I know. But yeah, it's a motley assortment of characters in this room right now. Anything that like y'all say or do before you like get into a circle and hold hands and whatnot?
In Kumbaya.
Bahu Doris, Bahu Doris.
Nice.
Welcome, welcome to the Fae. I have like especially, it's a special victory when I make Emily laugh because I feel like that's a harder thing to make a good like Emily quality joke.
That's why I just go for the rolling of the eyes, you know. It's really simple.
If you make Emily or Alyssa laugh at these jokes, then you
Yeah.
have accomplished much.
Yeah, this is true.
See, Caleb enjoys watching us suffer when playing. I enjoy watching suffer when I say a really bad pun.
I just enjoy the suffering.
Give it all to me.
Hit me.
Hit me with your best shot.
I want you to hit me. Rage
God.
roll.
See, okay, when you said that it would explode, I was totally hoping it was like the Black Panther suit sort of situation.
No, it's not a good
Oh,
explosion.
That would have been cool.
It's not a good explosion for now. This is phase 1 of the series.
This is true. This is Mark 1. This is Mark 1
Mark
play. Yeah.
By
Okay.
Mark 6.
Sure.
I'll have-
Sure. But yeah, so we see everybody kind of get situated, and Darius, you want to hit me with that wisdom save? As you transcend everybody. This is going to be a bit more difficult. So if you would like to, this is a lot of people that you are
What do you
suddenly
get?
transporting.
I don't currently have advantage.
No.
Okay.
Even
Well,
though
I
he
do have-
tested it with me.
No, because I think this is still you're now transporting a whole bunch of people and animals. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like
If you had
before-
done like 6 more tests, then yeah.
So is like Darius is the one that's actually doing this, right?
Guys, would it be worth it? Do you guys want a blessing real quick to help Darius? It would give him another
That makes sense.
D4.
Does
Okay.
blessing work for saves though?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Guidance does not work for saves, but bless is like it's a first level
Right.
spell.
Cool.
Got a question. Can I have 2 blessings at once?
Depends on if it's the same spell, I would assume.
It is the same spell.
But I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that makes sense.
Okay.
You can be blast, but you can't be double blast.
Hashtag was.
So in that case, I will get out some holy water and sprinkle some on my face, some on Darius's face, and I'm just kind of like, whoo, whoo. And then I'll give some to Arie, and then I'm like, you best.
I'm like, okay. Thanks for the water.
Yeah, and I already have inspiration apparently, or I have it.
Well, there you go.
Marked off.
Yeah.
So
So you can
I shall
use
use
that
it.
if you want. Yeah. All right, make that wisdom save.
wisdom save with advantage.
There you go, buddy.
27.
Please add a D4 to that.
Yeah. See how high you get. High as Raya.
Almost.
Ooh, yeah.
We're
Almost
almost
as high as
Raya.
Raya.
30 is that's a total of a 30 as a save.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm done with that.
I mean, I think
So-
that's more than enough to transport all y'all. Yeah, for
I
sure.
hope
Yeah,
so.
Darius. Yeah, yeah.
Now we have a 2-day thing. Is that what we said?
Yeah, yeah. What's the
Yeah.
timer being set for?
Yeah.
2 days?
Yeah, 2 days. And I think like this one for Darius is a little more advanced. I feel like he's like kind of standing in the very center of the circle, like around everyone. He's kind of like moving his arms around and like just kind of finishes it off, like throwing his arms to the side, and like everybody's just transported. Like there's big blast of light, and then
Yeah. Absolutely.
sweet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would
There
this be a good place to take a break?
I was just gonna say, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to make that like a quick segue, but I was chewing. Yeah, so we see everybody pop out into the Feywild in a burst of light, and that's a perfect place to take our first break. So we'll be back with more Terra Nullius right after this. We'll find out what's happening in the Feywild. We'll go talk to a hummingbird suitor and find out what the heck that even means when we return to Terra Nullius. Stick around. Got more stuff coming your way.